Coming up on the Tech Show this week, Hope drops some brand new pedals and we spot some interesting things on Instagram.
Interesting, yes. We're also going to be diving into the world of hidden shocks, Anna. Good or bad? Well, there's only one way to find out. So all that and plenty more coming up on the Tech Show. Right, hidden shocks, Anna. Shocks that are hidden. You can't see them.
Shocking. No, you can't. Very shocking.
Tell us a little bit about them.
Okay, so Bold Cycles were probably the first to sort of popularise this, I would say. They came out with the Lincoln with that hidden shock. And honestly, that bike looked so good. It looked so slick. And obviously, Scott agreed because they bought them out. And pretty much all of the bikes since then have been slowly coming into the hidden shock world.
They have, yeah.
And even some niche brands last year, like Olympia, which is an Italian brand who have the FX1, their XC bike, have just brought out a partial hidden shock as well. They've obviously seen what Scott and Nino Shirt has been doing on the Spark and thought, I want a piece of that action.
Yeah, there's also some like homemade ones. Check out this Insolent downhill bike that's been doing the rounds. It's actually did the rounds a couple of years ago now, but it's actually got a hidden shock inside of the top tube.
Whoa, that is crazy. So the top, actually,
so the actual top tube
is
the
part
stanchion
of the shock.
Yeah, like
so it's like the body of the shock, and so
and then the stanchion slide inside the top tube.
That is crazy, and then it's got FE gear. That's all manner of buzzwords. That is high pivot and carbon.
Just needs to be belt driven as well.
It is belt driven.
Oh my god. Mind blown. But anyway, back to hidden shocks. You're right. Bold sort of did bring this about, if you like, to sort of fairly mainstream, but they were quite big in Europe, but Scott really took it to the next level, and they've been bringing it in more across both their standard bikes and e-bikes.
Yes.
And there's some good and bad points, isn't there, Anna?
There are. So the reasoning behind it, or so Scott and Bold say, is that the construction would be a lot stiffer around the bottom bracket, and they can use less material to make that stiffness, keeping it a lot lighter. So stiffness has got to be good around the bottom bracket, no? Surely?
I mean, have you ever noticed a lack of stiffness? Have many of you guys out there ever noticed a lack of stiffness around the bottom bracket? I can't say I hugely have, I'll be honest.
I wouldn't say bikes are floppy these days.
No.
But maybe Nino Shirt notices. I don't know.
Maybe at the top
But
end.
also, it sort of reduces that lateral flex, and if the bike's not flexing around the shock, that means there's no binding in the shock, and that's got to be a good thing. Genius, no? Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Again, I think that's a very good idea across the board, but you can overcome this. The push shock has spherical bearings, so it kind of counteracts that.
Yeah.
So again, it does. So is it really?
Yeah, so there's things that you can sort of do to sort of make that up, but you're certainly not getting a coil shock in this hidden.
I'll give you that, no.
That's not happening.
No.
You're definitely limited to air. And let's talk about the obvious problem here is with that shock, accessing it. That, I mean, you're not going to be playing around with your dials,
adjusters, no.
your rebound, your compression that easily.
Yeah,
certainly adding and taking out air is going to be a pain in the butt now.
It is certainly a more laborious task. You know, you've got certain special tools on some of them to actually get up there and adjust the various bits that you want to adjust. So that is an annoyance, but I feel like we've been a little bit negative. So let's flip to some very positive things. So first up, look how clean they look.
Oh yeah.
They look crisp, they look clean, real tidy, plenty of room in that front triangle for things like multiple water bottles, accessories that you want to attach to the frame, things like that. It's really good. Yeah,
the new Scott Lumen having 2 bottles on there is like, I mean, that's becoming a rare thing these days on an e-bike. Wow. And then don't forget, you know, a hidden shock means it's hidden from the elements, hidden from the dirt. Yeah. So you're going to have better suspension life performance, perhaps. Yeah, maybe?
I think this is a huge one. I think this is the biggest advantage of that hidden shock design is the fact that the suspension unit is kept away from the crap. Let's face it. So for us here in the UK especially, and people of wetter climates as well, should we say at the moment, it's taken an absolute mud pasting. So I mean, it's horrendous out at the moment, isn't it? So to have that taken away, it's going to prolong the life of your shock, right?
Probably, yeah. But having cable routing around the shock and maybe getting in the way of a dropper post, I don't know, that might put me back in the negative fence. But maybe we should ask our viewers what they think on this.
Yes, let us know what you think in the comments down below. We like to hear from you, revolutionary or pain in the butt. You decide. Okay, Anna, it's time for a little bit of news. And I'm going to kick things off with a new pedal from Hope. So the Barnoldswick company are getting rid of the F20. It's time for a change and are bringing out the F22 flat pedal. And it is a looker. Check this out. Yes. So it's been redesigned with a clever dual concave profile as well as a new asymmetric shape that extends further. That's a lot to think about, but I mean, it sounds pretty legit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, get this. So there's also 22 height adjustable pins. It is obviously made here in the sunny UK, so you know it's going to last a long time. Fully serviceable and will be in stock come January the 10th. Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
That F20's been going 10 years, would you
Long
believe
time,
it?
yeah.
So it's about time for a little reshape.
Prices for that pedal, 145 Great British pounds, 180 euros and about $183. Keep an eye on the Hope website for that little beauty.
Nice. And check out, well, we've seen Nico Mullally riding a little bit of an adaptation on one of his frameworks, and that rear is carbon. And he said, if you check out on his Instagram page, he said it's been a big reduction in unsprung weight and everything fit together perfectly. Those were 2 goals. Now let's see how it rides. So this carbon version is apparently 804 grams lighter than the aluminium version. So that's a lot. That's
That's a
nearly
chunk of weight,
a
isn't it?
kilo. Like that's a lot. So in terms of unsprung mass, yeah, that would really smooth out his suspension. I'm really interested to see how that works out, because maybe we usually have carbon front triangles and aluminium rear these days. Is it going to be a resurge in flipping that? Who knows?
Maybe a hidden shock version next. Probably not. Don't take my word for it on that one. Yes, right, next up, big news in the world of sponsorship. Sam Pilgrim, you see? Now on Canyon bikes. Unbelievable, yeah. So Pilgs is now riding for Canyon. Big deal. Not sure how long for, but it's a heck of a signing that for the bike company. He's, check this out, riding the new Spectral AL27.
I think it's the 27. They looked smaller. It might be the 29.
I reckon it's the 27.
But have you seen what he's done with the gearing and the brakes? So Canyon have spec'd the front brake cable to obviously run around the head tube and then drop into the steerer tube, so he can do bar spins and tail whips and whatnot. And in the same vein, he's had to get rid of the gear shifter off the handlebars, and they've used an old like road shifter, almost it looks like a
with
friction
a 3D
shifter.
printed mount, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's cool.
It looks like a sort of a tri-shifter. So yeah, I'm really interested to see whether that sort of takes off.
Well,
it's a weird one.
Slopestyle guys have used weird adaptations like that for a while, haven't they? So that they can actually throw bar spins and tail whips and stuff like that without it all getting clogged up, as it were. But
yeah, and I guess that's why we saw a lot of single speeds at Rampage.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see him on the big German brand now.
Yeah, for sure. And then speaking of crazy stuff, we've got a new downhill bike from Airdrop. We've talked about this coming in and being prototype last year. It's the Slacker. It was a prototype project, but now they finally put it into production, or at least we should be starting to see orders at the end of January. So check this out on screen. It's the Sheffield-based brand making only 27.5-inch wheels and only aluminium frames. The Slacker is the 200mm rear travel in coil only, I believe. Aluminium frame, 3 sizes available, S1, S2, S3. So you're going to have to choose your reach rather than going in for small, medium and large. And full bikes and finishing kits include Bergtech cockpits, Hope wheels, so all of that
very
sort
British.
of... Very Britishy. Very British.
Not the Olins, but...
Yeah, and so we're looking at the frame with the RockShox Super Deluxe Coil Ultimate at £17.99.
That's not bad, is it?
Or the Olin's TTX Coil Shock, which looks stunning in £1,999. So pre-orders live on January the 26th, so check out their website if that sort of thing interests you.
Very nice. Right, one last thing, Anna. Dropped on my desk this morning, actually, last bit of news. Check these out.
Oh, breaking news.
These are from Spank. So Spank are now doing decal upgrade kits for your wheels. So if you've got the 350 or the 359, you can now pimp them out. Look at these. So you've got some nice pink ones there. We've got some Rasta.
I don't know if I can pull this off, Rich.
No?
I think I'm a few years away from 50 to 1.
I can see you with those blue ones. I might put the gold ones on.
I might need these. I'm the nuke proof.
But yeah, head on over to Spank now. Those are available very shortly, so you can get pimping out your wheels.
Okay, it's quiz time, the moment we've all been waiting for. So what is a horse link? I mentioned it earlier. I didn't explain, but do you know?
No, I don't. Right, next question. Who released the first hidden shock on a mountain bike?
Oh, have you been paying attention? And name 3 companies that have hidden shocks on their bikes. Okay, comments time from you lovely people. And last week in the Tech Show, we were talking about our favourite videos from the year. And a couple of mentions on my entrance, because it was I've been here a year now.
Crikey, Mikey, have you really?
Yeah.
Blimey,
January was my first video. So I was really humbled to stoked to hear that you guys like that one. And then Graham Schultz said, Doddy's XT video is amazing. Anna's month on the hardtail was nice to see also. With all the new tech and fancy new bikes, it's nice to get back to the basics. Great job, GMBN Tech. Thanks, guys.
Right, very nice. Andreas Lange says, my favourite video was the homage to Dior XT. A bit of love for that in there. I just felt with Doddy because I share a similar love story with XT since we first met in the early 1990s. Also, the historical footage in the video is just great. Very true.
Yeah, to be fair, that was our most popular video of the year, and loads of people in the comments saying that was their favourite. Kyle Wheeler said, Doddy would be interested to see your in-depth tech talk on the Intend forks and shocks, plus what your thoughts are on the Bright Racing skunk fork and the idea of very little static sag. Okay, Doddy's not here today. He's got COVID, sadly. He's all right. But yeah, he has said that he wants to do some more stuff on Intend, so we'll try and get that working for you.
What about the Bright Racing skunk fork?
I don't know much about it, but I like the name.
Me neither. Right, Mr. Grey Fox Zero. No doubt about it, my favourite moment in 2022 was the bike cave from Mark in the GMBN Tech Show number 240. One of the best home workshops I've ever seen. The bike cave is my favourite part on YouTube. Wow.
The favourite part.
On all of YouTube. Amazing.
Of everything we do.
Yeah.
Rotty Shep Caliber says, I really did enjoy Doddy's wireless gear show, but I would love to see a bike packing video with one.
Nice.
Funny you should say that, because I might be bringing some bike packing to the channel this year.
Whoa. And then finally, Raucus919 says, riding the hardtail for a month was cool. Next year, try it single speed. Wow. Thank you very much for all your lovely comments, people. Right, it's top mods time, Anna. Let's kick things off. Who have we got first?
All right, we've got a submission from Rob here. He's got his Dartmoor 2-player 6, and he discovered that you could actually get his saddle much further down if he used a smaller seat tube, but that doesn't technically fit in his bike. So what's he done? He's cut up an old Coke can and used that as a shim.
Absolute classic. That's what we like to see.
The frame came with a shim that went down from 30.9, which is what it set at, to a 27.2. But he had a retro race face that was 27.0 millimeters. So he just needed that 0.2 millimeter shim.
Coke
so he made it
perfect.
a Coke can.
A classic. That's a hack or bodge for GMBN right there.
Send that one in. You can't have that. No.
We'll take that. Very nice. Good work, Rob, from the dinning room. Right, what have we got next? Roland with his S-Works Enduro says, hi, Doddy, the blue air cap and compression ring on the Fox 38 has been bugging me because it doesn't fit the colour scheme of the bike.
Ooh,
I like it
tricky.
here where this is going.
Yeah.
So I had to go at de-anodizing the air cap, and this is the result.
Yeah.
There's a tidy little number he's done there, isn't it? Looking good, Roland, looking good. Then onto the Access dropper collar and SRAM lever bodies. Flipping heck, he's gone all out.
He has.
Well, good luck, send those in. We'd like to see how they turn out.
Yeah, next up, Roland, I want to see a hand-polished crank arm as well, just to match those dials.
Wow, crikey. Those are this week's top mods. Don't forget, you can always send in yours into the uploader linked in the description down below. We do love to see what your top mods are modding toply.
So, the quiz answers, a moment you've all been waiting for. Do you know what horse link is?
I do, yes. It's a 4-bar linkage system where the connecting pivot's attached to the seat tube. Also, the lower floating link and the rear axle are higher than the bottom brackets.
Yeah. So, And then who released the first hidden shock? I mean, technically, it was Bold Cycles. They certainly popularised it.
And last but not least, name 3 companies that have hidden shocks on their bikes. Have you been paying attention? Because it was Bold Cycles, Scott and Olympia. Congratulations if you've got all of those correct.
Well done. You get nothing but appreciation from us. Thank you for stopping by, and we will see you again next week. And before you go, let us know down in the comments below, hidden shocks, are they going to take off? Do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea? Let's start up the debate in the comments below. Thanks for watching.
See ya.